In this short video, we're going to go and look at how to go and create a histogram in Excel using pivot tables. So first off, we're going to open up an Excel spreadsheet, which I have before you, Dane County Homes for Sale. And when you download it, you're going to go and make sure that you can enable editing oftentimes up here in the screen. You'll end up seeing that there are an issue that they'll say enable editing if it's in protected mode. Once you've opened it up, then down here, each of these spreadsheets are on different pages that are listed on the bottom. We want to go over to the Madison ones, so we're going to go and use these arrow keys over here to go and find the Madison page. Click on that. Then we're going to go and highlight the whole data set. So we're going to go and use these arrow keys to move over to the top. In the first column, A, and the first row, 1, we're going to go from A1, highlighting all of that data set. All the way down, column V, down to row 851, I believe. It takes a few minutes to get down there, because this is a large data set. All right. Once you've highlighted this, what we're going to go through and do is create a pivot table. A frequency distribution using pivot tables. Under Insert, the Insert tab up on top, you'll find that we have here pivot tables. Under tables, if the window is shrunk down too much. If it's not, then you'll see pivot tables over in the far left-hand corner. Click on that, and you'll have a dialog box that comes up here that says select a data range. We've already highlighted it so that it'll automatically be set in. And then you can publish that to a new worksheet or an existing worksheet. We'll just use a new worksheet. It'll be called Sheet 1. That'll appear down here between Fitchburg and Madison. And go ahead and click on OK. And then you'll get a separate sheet called Sheet 1, where they have the pivot table where the frequency distribution is going to go. And over in here, you'll have on the right-hand side a dialog box that says Pivot Table Fields. We're interested in going and finding a frequency distribution for the beds. How many houses have 1 bedroom, how many houses have 2 bedrooms, and so on here in Madison. So we're going to click on the beds. If you click on that, it'll automatically appear down in the values box, and then you can drag and drop it down into beds, and you'll have over on the left-hand side what you hope to be a frequency distribution. So the first column are your X values, and they take on the values of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is a quantitative variable that's discrete, so there's only 6 values in it. And then on the right-hand side, we have what we hope to be the frequency function. Now, unfortunately, when we have the grand total, we have 2,812 data points, because what they've gone through and done is they've added all of the bedrooms that are in Madison for sale. So there are a bunch of 6-bedroom houses, and those will count as 6. Then there's a bunch of 1-bedroom houses that will count as 1 each, and so on. So we want to change the sum of beds to the count of beds. So we're going to go back over here to values, and the sum of beds in the bottom right-hand corner. This little down arrow, we're going to click on that. And on the very bottom option, which is just below what you can see, is something called Value Field Settings. I clicked on that. And then they'll have the Value Field Settings dialog box appear. And we want to pick on Count. So if we just click on Count, it changes that frequency distribution into actually be a frequency distribution. And all 850 rows are going to be counted in there. We went down to 851 because the first row was the labels. So now this gives me a frequency distribution, and we're going to highlight the rows and the columns and go under Insert to create a histogram. So then we're going to go through and pick the column chart, click on that option, and then we've got a bunch of options underneath it. Let's go and just do the first one called a clustered column. If you've got more than one column, it'll automatically go and change things. These are different options. This will be a probability distribution if you're sitting down and looking at things. This will add the columns on top of each other. We would want them side by side. Though we only have one set of one set of data for the y values to begin with. So here's our chart. We can get rid of the value fields, and then we're going to go and I'll just move that over a little bit so you can see it beside there. Then we're going to go to the design tab and choose various layouts that might be helpful. Under quick layouts, they have various different options of what you could have the chart look like. This one here is what the histogram actually looks like, where you've got bars with no gaps in between. So in between each box, there's no gaps. That's the difference between visually what a bar graph looks like and a histogram. So we're going to go and choose something, one of these other ones, and I'll show you how to edit it if you didn't choose that particular option. I wanted some horizontal lines, I wanted the vertical scale here, and I want to add on the labels. I could have chose one of the items that did that, but let me show you how you could do it a different way. Under here, add chart elements. If I want to add on the horizontal axis label, I can go through and click on that and put in number of bedrooms and then hit enter, and then that'll appear there. And then over here, if I want to go through and add on the vertical axis, I could go through and say number of houses if you wanted that. And then you can go through and click on this title and change it to a histogram of number of bedrooms, number of beds in Madison homes for sale. That's as descriptive as you can probably get. And since I'm only going to have one thing here, I don't want the legend, so I'm going to delete the legend off. Now we're almost done with this. The only thing is this actually looks like a bar graph right now because there are gaps in between the two. So anytime you want to edit the data, we're going to go and right-click on the data set. You'll get a date on a box. You'll end up seeing a dialog box at the very bottom. It says Format Data Series. And then you'll get a dialog box up here. We want to set the overlap of the series to 0 if you've got more than one of them. And then the gap width we want to set to 0. Then let's X out of there. And there we have it. We have our final histogram for number of beds in Madison homes for sale. Hope this helps. Take care. Good luck. Bye.